Testing, testing. Hello, everybody. Heather's asking if everybody can hear us this time. No, Heather. Oh, we were hoping, yeah, we were hoping for the 100% this time. Hello, pioneers. Heather will be uh on momentarily. In the meantime, I hope everyone has had a wonderful September. It's been a busy one here. We've been prepping for launch. We've been prepping for digital release as well as the print release. We've been back and forth with a lot of making sure everything is up to snuff. Got wow, while Heather's working on her audio, I have my little exciting proofs I can show from the printer. I don't know if anybody can see these actually. They're with the with the camera sort of blobbing out stuff, but there's oh wow, it's kind of like weird. It's sort of showing some really cool graphics in the middle of the blur. But yes, it is very pretty. It looks fantastic. Um, I'm yeah, we are very very excited about it. Our printer actually the print staff has been going through everything with us, and they are very excited with the way that everything's coming out.
Hello?
And we should have oh hello testing Heather.
Testing me? Anybody? Yay!
Hey Heather,
I honestly,
welcome.
the
Yay.
problem is Rich and I can hear each other perfectly fine. So we test everything the best that we can, but it's until we go live that for some reason, and then I don't know, it's OBS. I'm going to blame OBS instead of my total lack of tech ability. So, hey everybody, welcome to the stream.
It
Did you see
it
that? I
doesn't
mean,
like you.
I don't like me either.
OBS doesn't like
So.
you either. Uh-huh.
There we
Yeah.
go. Oh
Yeah,
yes, we
yeah.
are back. And just imagine next month, next month, you and I are going to be in the same place at the same time, live, especially with the rest of the team, and we're going to be live from GameholeCon. But that's a conversation for later. Let's go back to those.
If your computer at that point manages to mute you and not me, then it's haunted. It's officially haunted, and we
It
have to do
is.
something.
It is. This poor thing got me through the pandemic. If that just tells you anything, it was ridden very hard for at least 18 to 24 months, and then since then it's a daily thing. So anyway, pretty pictures. I mean, come on, those graphics. Those were really. I mean, I know everybody is chomping at the bit, especially all of our folks who put in pre-orders because we are so close, so close. I cannot believe it is the 23rd of September already.
I can. I'm looking at it hour by hour, going, man, there's still so much left to do.
Well, there
but
always is,
but
but it's
but
we're
yeah, the
close.
great part is that everything is pretty on track. We have a lot going on. So we can we can get to it. What's our first topic of discussion
Well,
exactly?
first I'm going to show that picture off of the print stacks
Oh
that
yeah.
we posted. So if you haven't seen these yet, this is what Rich sent me this picture. I think it was a week or so ago that we
Hmm.
put out there, and just that I think got a lot of us salivating over. Like it's almost here. It's almost that
Yeah.
close. So
It's a real thing.
yeah, it's just about there. And okay, so you and I had talked. One of the things that we were going to go over are some of the changes to the books that from the original conceptualization and all the things you wanted to put in, but because of the situation with like the tariffs and the expenses to make sure that no extra charges and everything were passed on,
Hmm.
because we wanted to make sure that the pre-orders still came in on time, on budget, that we didn't have to go back to anybody and go, well, we need more money or anything else. That you had to make a couple of changes to the book. So tell us about those.
Yes, so the good, good news first is that, everything absolutely pivotal and necessary that I wanted to put in the book, we got into the book. As far as the game and the lore section and everything is concerned, everything that we wanted to put in there, we put in there. It was kind of a back and forth because, again, it was we have, certain elements in our politics right now where, one dude is sort of just kind of making all of these random decisions that we don't know what's going to happen until it happens. So we have to catch up. And that being the case, we decided to, I guess one of the good news is the book is printing from a U.S. printer. Oh, oh, okay, that was you.
Yeah, it's me. We
Yeah, we have a wonderful U.S. printer. They have experience with a lot of different RPG companies, and they are well versed in printing these books. Um, they're very excited about doing the project. That being said, just the fact is that printing in the U.S. is way more expensive than it is to print overseas or even in Latin America. So we had to make some decisions. Like, there are some additional things that we wanted to include that instead will be included in PDFs. There were some pages that had like some of the sketches from the artists that we were going to include in the book. Like sometimes there's a lot of cool displays where you see the sketch art as opposed to the finished work. There were some pages with quotes from interviews that we had rules for some additional weapons that we had going in. Ooh, there's something going on the stream here.
Oh,
What's happening?
I I think it froze for a second. So okay, we're back.
Oh.
Oh, we're good. Are we okay? People getting us? The suspense is killing me. I'm showing it's back up, so we should be. Yes, the worst possible technical
Yes, okay.
difficulties. Okay, I think, are we back? Hello? Hello out there in land. We're back. Okay, we're back. Phew.
Are
Okay.
we okay?
So yeah,
Cool.
so some of the stuff had to be, unfortunately, some bits and pieces had to be put into the digital PDF uh versus into the hardcover, but it's still going to be it's still going to be there.
Yeah, it's still going to be there.
Yeah.
We're everything, anything that we wanted, that we wanted to put in, we're still going to provide people with it. It'll just be free, actually. And what the main goal was for the book is to create, not only the portion of the lore chapter, but the game itself is just the start of something more, right? We have everything that you need to play any era in the Phantasy Star universe. Well, not any era. PSU being something that we're planning on, that we're looking ahead towards. But anything in the classic series and in your PSO games, and that's that was accomplished, and everything in it is good to go, and it's gold, and we can't wait for you to see it.
Yay.
Sorry,
Okay, there we go.
go.
All right, we got some full strength back. All right, I don't know why it was dropping, but it was. Okay. So yeah, we so right now again, everything the pre-orders are on track to ship out at the end of the month. So
Yep.
that the week of September 30th, which is a one 1 week away.
Yeah, and we've
Ooh.
yeah, it's a week away. So this yeah, the digitals will be so everyone that pre-ordered will be getting the digital files on September 30th. They'll be getting their PDF, the starter adventure, the sheets. We also have, along with the starter adventure, it's going to come with a set of high resolution. Well, for digital, it's going to come with a high res digital map, dungeon map. We're going to send some tokens that you can use for your VTTs if you want to set it up in a VTT. And that'll be it. Uh, and by that time, we should start setting up for shipping for the hardcovers. Our distribution partner, Studio Two, will have the books. They're going to start setting up for shipping, which will happen during the first 2 weeks of October. It'll depend on timing, order number. International orders will start going out probably after the 15th of October. That's gonna be a whole separate list and a whole kind of separate setup for all of that. That said, everyone should have their hardcovers by the end of October. Including the international orders. That's the end goal.
Yeah. So let's be clear.
Uh,
The shipping of the PDFs and all the little bits and pieces, all the little fantastic bits, are that's going to be first. That you're going to
yes.
see the week of September 30th. The hardcovers will be coming very shortly after that. They are going to be coming separate because
Hmm.
Studio 2 is going to be shipping those because that's who's in charge of our hardcover books. So think over the next month between September 30th and October 30th, that's when things are going to be getting shipped. Will they be receiving any kind of notification that things have been shipped?
Yes. As soon as your order is shipped, you will get a notification to the email address that you used for your order. And depending on where you are, I mean, I believe most of the US is going to be UPS. So you should be getting like a UPS shipping notification and tracking notification to your email. International orders, I believe, uses Global Post. So it kind of depends on where you are. You'll get an email from Global Post, and then that will lead towards whichever shipping company is being used to get your product to you locally. Uh, that that should be it. Like once you get that and you get your notification, I will say that for international orders, what'll happen is that Global Post will send you a notification that it will get shipped or that it is being shipped, but you won't really be able to track it until it gets to your local shipping company.
Yeah. So
I've got
so
sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, yeah. So yeah, that's so if there are questions about your things getting shipped out, the PDF and all the tokens and all of that would come to us at Skydon.
Yep.
And then if there's a question about the shipping and the tracking of your hardcover, that would go to either that would more likely go to Studio 2, or if it's already shipped
That
out and it's already in UPS's hands, you might have to deal with UPS. We
yeah.
understand shipping things happen. We are going to try to do it and make this as easy as possible, but it's a process and goodness knows.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Book shipping is always that kind of process. I will
Yeah.
say, once that shipment goes out and the tracking number is generated, and you receive your email that the tracking number has gone out, it's likely within the next day gone out. So, I mean, if you do have issues with shipment or delivery, once you get your tracking number, it's better to contact the shipping company that has your book versus Studio 2, which at that point, when they've sent something out, there isn't really anything that they can do about it.
Yeah.
It's out there. So if you have any address changes happening, or if you have anything that before a week from now, if you have a change of address or a change of shipping address, a change of delivery address, please, please, please send an email to contact@skydongames.com or go to the website and use the contact link and send that information right away. Because once the
Yeah.
book is out, there isn't anything that we can do about it until it gets to where it's going.
So you have about till September 29th. Let's just call it there. If you have a change, we need to know by September 29th that of what that change is, because really once about September 30th hits, it's going to go to whatever you've given us. So please, please, please don't, can't say you haven't been warned, and we'll make sure that this is posted on the out there on the socials so that everybody has it. Okay. One of the things I'm going to jump back really, really quick, because you mentioned the token and whatnot for the Foundry VTT. There was a question in the Discord on whether there would be anything for VTT. So
BTT.
just touch on that one real quick, because I know a few people were very excited to hear that.
We want to do it. So the first two things that we're talking about future stuff. Actually, since you know what, I'm going to see. I have a question that I see here that's talking about the PDF, and I'm just going to answer it before we get into that. From
Oh,
Star Goblin Radio.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
with the release, you want us to, okay.
and people who missed the pre-order get the PDF through drive-through RPG. All right, yes, actually, that's a very important point that I forgot to include. So
Oh,
everybody that is getting the PDF for pre-orders is going to receive the PDF through drive-through RPG. So you'll get an email with a discount token for the drive-through product. You click on it, and it will let you purchase that PDF at a zero cost. So that's where the free PDF is coming from. It is coming directly from drive-through. So if you have a drive-through account, you're good. If not, drive-through will prompt you to create an account to download your PDF. That's the only reason why I answered that, because I saw drive-through and I'm like, I have to bring up that point that's where the PDF and the package is coming from. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out through drive-through.
okay. So that will include the PDF of the book, the PDF of the Search for Livino, and any of the
And
other
the extra
the other errata that you're making sure is in there.
the
But
extra
it'll,
tidbits. Yeah.
yep. But I think it's also that once the book is released globally, and available for just purchase out beyond pre-order, so just regular, I want to buy the book, that a PDF version is also going to be available for purchase, probably through drive-through as well. Um,
Yep.
so you
It's going to
will,
be on drive-through, and it should be available through. It should be available on the website itself,
okay.
yeah, primarily through drive-through is going to be the first.
So if all you want is the PDF, you can buy the PDF, because we understand. We apologize. I honestly do not know. There we go. Okay, we are back. All right. So yeah, so everything, the PDFs will be available separately if that's all, if that's what you want. The books will be available separately eventually. We will have all that information, the dates, when everything releases. Once we have it, you will have it. I promise I will get all that out to you, hopefully in a much more reliable way than OBS is being today. And maybe I need to look into
Let me
Streamlabs.
let me do this
Oh,
while I'm here.
here we go. We're gonna get
Yeah,
some.
this is just the cover template while I have it. And, there it is. So everyone knows what the cover looks like,
But
but
the back, now we have the
it's
back of
yeah.
it.
Let someone jump into cyberspace and beat this dream into submission, they say. I can spill a whole bunch of secrets.
Oh, oh goodness, all the
No.
secrets, all the
Oh,
secrets. We
oh,
shouldn't
yep,
talk
yep,
about
yep, yep.
that.
They're saying yes. See, I threw that in there just to see anybody would respond.
Okay. And they can hear me. Oh, there we go. All right. I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on. I truly apologize. I really don't understand because everything on my end is looking good. I don't know if this is OBS or Twitch or what. So, all right. So let's get to a couple of things really quick before it goes away again. Um, all right, so we have the book changes, we have the shipping updates. Again, I will release as we find out. We try to be as transparent as possible. The moment we know any particular dates or when things go out or anything, it will be on the socials. I promise we will tell everybody exactly what's happening. So let's get to a couple of questions. Uh, First, this is really cool. I'm going to bring this up. That's the character
Okay.
sheet we released beforehand so that everyone could
Oh
actually
yeah.
get a look to see. Uh, One of the questions off of Discord was, since there are rules for spaceships and space travel, what are some of the enemies we could face? Since PS1 through 4, 0, and online were mostly ground focused, I'm curious as to what we would face when traveling within the Algol system.
Okay. So this is going to be a multi-layered question. Or a multi-layered answer to the question, I should say. All right. So the way that we had put together the game, the one thing that we brought over from Esper Genesis, which I am very proud of, is we were able to translate the Starship combat rules into Phantasy Star. Um, that if you go through, well, when you guys get the book, when you go through the chapter, uh a lot of the rules will be very similar to Esper Genesis, and there are enemy ships that are provided at the end of the chapter that are like ship stat blocks. They're generic in the sense of, like, this is a small ship, this is a large ship, this is so that way the game master can take the stat blocks and formulate it into a type of ship that that your characters can encounter, so that way it's not locked down into um the specific setting that you have.
Mhm.
That said, second layer of this answer is we started talking about things that we wanted to do in the future. So VTT wise, one of the first things we want to do is to actually get the game itself on as many VTTs as possible. So that includes Roll20 and Foundry if possible. Foundry is one of those is one of those back and forths. I wish I wish I had time to code. I'm kind of okay at it, but not that, but so there's that. Roll20 kind of has their own demi-plane thing going on, but we're kind of working back and forth with that to see what we can get going for the VTT side. Now, for the product release side, uh, one of the big things that we want to do after the game is out is focus more on what people are looking for as far as the type of game that they want to play. So we have more character options that did not make it into the book that we want to put out. Digitally, we want to get kind of we want to get a game master screen and just kind of like a basic starter put together into a package that we could put out in print. And then we want to go into setting material. So I did not get as much. There's just there's tons and tons of lore
Yeah,
out there for three, technically four separate timelines for Phantasy Star.
yeah,
So the um the goal is to is to do something for PSU, so that you can fit it into the game and plug it into the game. At the same time, we also want to do something for, here's a setting around, Ragol and Coral and that timeline, and like all of the options that go with it, including things like the different types of factions in the organizations and how mags work, and D cell infection, and like a lot of different things that we want to put in for PSO. You go into the classic side and you can break that down into games. We have rules in the lore section about how to chain together different stories into like campaign eras and how to pass those traits along down into characters. But PS3, for as not as limiting a game as it was, introduced unique concepts to video gaming that uh, got passed along. I would say without due credit. There's a lot you can do with things like the world ships and how they function and all of the different stories that you can tell over those millennia and um, how much setting material can become rules material for that. How to do things like different things for different character origins, different things for androids, different things for more environmental traits that you can use depending on the settings of the planets. So it's going to be uh, a lot more options, but the options are going to be based on setting material itself. So that way, when you have the main book, you can make pretty much anything you really need to do with the main book. But then it's like, ooh, I want to play a complete like PSO game. I want to do like the card revolution or and so we're going to be introducing those options to throw that in so the GM just doesn't have to make it up themselves. That's my
Well,
second layer of an answer, which was a long one.
that's okay. That answers the question of what's next,
Yeah.
what's
And that
in the
incorporates into
works.
the starship rules, right? I'm
Right.
I'm now traveling, I'm a space pioneer and I'm traveling around the Ragol system or searching for other planets. In that setting, what am I going to run into as far as monsters in space, as far as different types of ships, as far as that?
Well,
Um,
we've talked
yep.
about the ships and all, the lore and everything else coming. Another question from actually, this is a good follow up. Another question from the Discord for players like me who are crazy about playing support. What professions or paths would you recommend for those playing the role of a dedicated healer?
You expect me to know this off the top of my head? Like what would it? No, I'm joking.
You wrote it. I don't know.
I only wrote the thing. I don't have a book in front of me. No, no, no. So there are three paths. There are three professions that are more tuned toward I wouldn't say complete support. If you want like a total support character, I would consider playing a savant who can, has the doctor path, and that is kind of your very, very big support and heal character. That said, with that same profession, the machinist, which is more of a less of a healer and more of a sort of support and control character, has a lot of different techniques that they can use to do a lot of crowd control and material and heal at the same time. There's a path for the mystic that is less stabby and more and more like they don't really have they have healing techniques themselves, but they also get features that allow them to use their attacks to heal other characters. So the mystic and the savant would be the two primary professions that you would use for healing. That said, almost all of the professions, aside from the warrior, really, I actually the warrior and the operative kind of have their own special things to heal themselves, but most of the other professions have at least resta or a healing technique that they can use to support the group. But most of the times they're going to be using their other features to kill enemies or prevent anybody else from dying.
So one of the things that's been brought up, and I've noticed this on some of the chats in the Discord, and it's made especially the closer we've gotten, excuse me, to release. There is so let me just put it this way: Phantasy Star Universe. So
Yes.
PSU,
PSU,
unfortunately,
yes.
really didn't make. And I know you've actually addressed it a little bit in the Discord, but because of the, like you were saying, had there were three, four story, timelines, not just storylines, but
Hmm.
timelines in the universe. Uh, some of it, you couldn't fit everything in. Will there be Fantasy Star Universe
Uh,
coming down? Something, some of that lore, some of that, the settings,
it's
the characters, is that coming?
it's
Is
the
that
intention. It's the intention of doing so is yes. That said, we want to do it. It's probably one of the earliest things that we want to do. We need to have that as part of our one of the other reasons why we didn't use PSU is that we didn't have it as part of our license. So it's actually not in it's not in our list of games that are in our license from Sega. We also did not pursue it because we just didn't have the PSU is one of those it's separate. It's game wise, it's very like Fantasy Star Online ish, and it's sort of but it's separate in its own story, it's its own thing. It has so much going on at the same time. Like the amount of lore drop that's in PSU, the amount of story along with the mobile games is would add like an extra 100 pages to a book. Like I just, it would have been impossible to do.
Yeah,
So, but we want to do it, and we want to do it so that, and it's going to be more of a setting option, right? Here's all that lore that you were missing. Here are all the character options, and you already have the base rules out of the main book to make it
right.
work.
So PSU is
Yes,
hopefully
hopefully, yes, yes.
it's in the works. We need to get the
At
licensing set first. Once we get that, then we can work. Then it can be worked on. It can be brought forth in some form.
Yep.
Uh,
That's as good as I can give right now.
yeah. Okay. Folks, you can still put questions in the chat. Love to know what do you want to know? What do you want to hear while you've got
Oh,
us? Hopefully it's
and I
holding
and
right
I and I
now.
have to
So
and I have to add, I
oh
appreciate the comments. I appreciate the comments in the chat. Please, no one contact Sega
yeah, no.
requesting them to
Yeah.
to to help us out and add PSU to our like that's not a this is a background discussion. So, but I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Oh, and I'm going to also mention the same goes for the merch. I know that pin, the meow pin, everyone loved the
Hmm.
meow pin. I can't wait to get mine next month. The one of the perks of working through all this is I get my meow pin. I cannot wait. But yeah, the meow pin from Gen Con. I know there has been a lot of talk of people talking pins, lanyards, shirts, posters. The desire for merch is there again. That is going to those are completely separate
That's a
licensing.
licensing discussion. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's something, yes, that we would potentially love to do because we know you as the fans would love to see that, to have those. But again, that's going to be a little bit further down the pipeline. Writing stuff that's within the license that we have now is the best way. And there's still so much out there. We're going to work on obtaining more, so more Fantasy Star options there, but the merch is a very separate thing. It's not off the table. It's just not there yet. So be
Yeah, there's
patient.
actually going to be less of a the pins were the pins were part of a promotion. So like we
Yeah.
can do stuff like that. So I actually do plan on making more pins in the future. I just as far as selling them individually, That's a whole separate
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
One of the things that somebody did mention to me recently is just something that we're also looking into is doing miniatures for tabletop
Oh.
gaming. So that's another avenue that we're going on because I
Ooh.
love minis
I do
and
too.
and I like having a having a little like Alice or a Ren mini or whatever. Like I would I would love that. So I feel like why I wouldn't be like trying to do it myself.
This is why we say this is made by fans for the fans, because you can Rich is a massive fan of Phantasy Star and the genre. So we love the games, we love all the bits and pieces of it, and that's why, we want to do this justice. So all right, let's jump up. We got uh couple of other questions, and I just saw it and it ran by. Oh, there it is. Are there plans for any more pre-made adventures? That I can say is yes, and I'm going to let you talk about
hmm
it because it is coming next month, isn't it? I think
yeah.
that
So
you were running it for the at Gamehole Con.
I wouldn't call that one a pre-made adventure. That one is for anybody that played D&D Adventures League or things like that. There are adventures that are called author only, basically meaning that like only the person that wrote it can run it. And yes, that is exactly right. It's called The New Pioneers. I am introducing it at Gamehole Con. I don't have the exact date on me, but I
I'll grab it.
believe it's Saturday. And that's going to be a PSO themed adventure.
I
Sorry, go
will.
ahead, Heather.
Nope, I'm gonna go. You talk about this. I'm gonna grab
Okay.
the thing and I'll get it up on so people can see. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So yes. So you will be paying you'll be playing a plucky gang of space explorers that are working on the Pioneer project, and there will be a lot of interesting, um, non-canonical, yet attached to lore events that happen to your crew as you are exploring the region of space around Ragol. And that's all I can say about that. It is a PSO setting adventure. The classic setting one is well that's a pre-made one, the Search for Luvino, that is everyone's going to get with their pre-order. I'll be introducing the PSO adventure. That one I will likely create as a pre-made module, but not immediately. But I will bring it at Holcon. Another one that we're planning is the one that we're going to be putting together for the Game Master screen. And that one is going to be a like level one classic adventure. And we're going to be putting that probably packaged with the Game Master screen once we get that into production. That is also going to be a
Yeah.
even though it's going to be a starter adventure. Oh, hello.
Sorry, that's my phone.
Oh,
Yeah, had that in
okay.
the wrong
How
spot.
to do it?
Go ahead.
Yes. Oh, I got a Windows folder there. Oh, that was you. um, and yes, I can already see it in the chat. The Search for Levino is going to be available on drive-through after launch, after everybody gets it. We're eventually going to put that on sale. And yes, the PSO adventure, once we actually get it into a adventure release format, that will also be available on drive-through. The screen, once we have that in development, along with the starter adventure that comes with the screen, we're also going to create a digital version of the screen that will come with that starter adventure, and that will go up on sale on drive-through as well. We are Um, we're actually looking into selling we're talking with One Bookshelf who runs and Roll20 right now, who runs Drive Through RPG, and we're looking to also sell hardcover releases along with the PDF as a combination. That's a discussion for a little bit further down the road, but it'll likely be obviously not for the not for the price that the pre-orders had gotten everything. It's going to be a combo at a discount, but it'll still be better than having to purchase them separately.
Oh, there it is. I got
How
it.
you doing there?
I got it. I just about got it. I put it in a. It ended up in a completely wrong folder. So I do try to be somewhat together, and then I get online, and it all goes to hell. So, but yeah, just about have it. Anyway, continue.
Okay. So those are the plans for adventures. There will be more adventures. We have when we had started Esper Genesis, actually, for example, we we hired a whole team to kind of put together a season one of organized play. As much as I would love to do an organized play for Phantasy Star, that is work that's way down the road. But we can at least put a series of adventures together of linking adventures that you can put together into like a pre-made campaign or an adventure path, if you will. So that's another plan for things down the road. Along with the setting material, we want to do a series of adventures for the classic setting and a series of adventures for the PSO setting. So that way, no one's left out and everyone has fun.
All right, here we go. So our schedule, the schedule for Gamehole Con for Phantasy Star. Uh, so you can see these Rich will be heading up. I'm gonna try to make it to at least one of them. Unfortunately, the timing is a little screwy with the schedules there, with
Uh,
everything else. But I think I can make it at least a part of one. But as you can see, there is the search for Lovino is going to be run. There's going to be the Q&A from with the team. Again, I'm trying to hopefully make that one. And it's weird that it's set up at 10 o'clock, but that's the slot that we ended up with. And then you can see the new pioneers right there. So, yay,
all right,
all that.
it is Saturday. I like to know
Oh,
what my schedule looks like too.
yeah, there you go. See? So there you
The
go.
search for Levino, I may not be running that. That might actually be Chris or Eric that runs that. We
Yeah.
will all be at the seminar. We will also all be at we will likely all be at the live stream that happens during the weekend as
Yes.
well.
Yep. We're
Um,
also going to be our October live stream is
we're
going
all
to
going to be in
be
the same
I,
room. I'm sorry, I
it's
interrupted you.
crazy. Don't no sudden movements. We might scare the technology here. Oh, come
Yeah, it was like, oh
on.
no, it
You
might crash
scared
on
it.
us.
You scared that okay, there we go. We're back.
There we
But
go.
yeah,
There we go. Whoa.
yes. But yeah, we're gonna be coming live from our hotel. Uh and we're gonna be doing the October live stream from the hotel with the whole team. As far hopefully we should have everybody there. At least you and me, and probably the other two. If we don't have them busy doing other stuff. So
And for those of you coming to the seminar, there's going to be some material that if you had attended the seminar at Gen Con, the preview seminar, there's going to be some of that material there presented at the Legend Return seminar. There's going to be some new stuff that we're putting in. Now that we're a little more focused on the future planning, we're going to be talking about that. And we will have a lore trivia that will happen for those of you there. So
so start
study up.
yep, start playing, start reading, start prepping because it's coming. We're gonna test you. We're gonna test all of you. The test of,
Test
for
your
you to get out the door.
knowledge.
Oh goodness. Okay. let's see. I don't think you answered this while I was busy doing that. I can't recall if this was covered in another stream. Is there or will there be rules for creating items?
For creating items, I think I need a little bit of specification on like what items are we
Probably,
talking about
I would
exactly?
think like weapons or other,
There are
equipment.
there are crafting rules. So there are
Craft.
crafting rules. Yeah, there are crafting
Okay.
rules and costs for for things. But there's two different types of creating items. There's the players get crafting materials and money together and create an item that's in the book, or there's the GM creates an item to be in the game. That's the so I'll answer both of those. Yes, there are rules for crafting using artisan tools with costs for creating items in the game. As far as coming up with items to use game rules, that's not specifically described in the book. There are a number of different uh, recommendations I can give you. One would probably be the Master Technician's Guide from Vesper Genesis that has item creation rules that can coincide with some of the items in Phantasy Star, but those aren't rules that we have out yet specifically for Phantasy Star. Now, for when we do come out with rules for GMs to create their own items, which should be generally similar. We're also going to put together like rules for building starships. Um, what we do have, like as far as GMs kind of doing things themselves in the book, is really monsters. So one of the things I'm actually excited about, and I know this isn't items, but it's a segue as to what like similar rules are going to look like. At the end of the monster chapter, there are templates for common creatures that you can fill in to create any sort of like common creature of a specific challenge for the game, and there's an entire table that you can use to generate like any quickie stat blocks for any challenge rating at all. So you have stuff that you don't see in the game or stuff that you don't see in the book that you want to introduce that's not immediately available and something that we haven't released yet. You can take a look at those tables and take a look at the sample. Actually, it's not even so. The common creatures have templates, and then we have like a list of traits that you can apply to the templates that you can use to create different characters from different species. And then there's the actual monster stat blocks themselves, which not only have all of the base stats that you can use for any challenge, but things like how to break down multiple attacks, damage, how to average that out with different types of encounters. So we wanted to make that very easy so that GMs could bake whatever they need to bake instead of just having to rely with the stat blocks that are in the book.
So I'm going to jump back just really quick. I don't know if you saw the question about how similar is the system to 5e, which we know comes up on
A lot
occasion. Uh,
on occasion.
so it comes up on occasion. Honestly, it's ah. Okay, so let's address that.
It's
We're talking
it's
system
about
mechanics.
as Yeah, okay. We'll go to system mechanics again. This is a question we get asked a lot.
That's okay.
It is Yeah, which is good.
We're getting better at
it's about
answering.
as yeah, exactly. It's about as similar to 5e. So the one thing, actually, something that I did notice that someone had made a comment about. So if you take a look at the character sheet, probably one of the first things anybody will notice are the six abilities that are there. That's not just common to 5e, but it's been common to D20 since the dawn of time. Those are the six abilities that you have. We I guess how similar is it to 5e is a question that I can't really answer. I can only answer what a lot of the major differences are from D20 itself. The D20 core mechanic being I roll a D20, I add a modifier, I check it against a difficulty, a target number or a difficulty class, which has been D&D in a nutshell from, as long as I can generally remember.
Well, it's basically
Um,
been D20
it's
since,
been D20, yeah,
since the when the SRD and everything else came down, and
which is
basically when those six stats and rolling D20s became available to everybody without TSR suing the pants off of everyone.
correct, correct,
So,
which
I
was,
mean,
20
well
20 or
over,
so years ago.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
been a while. So that's at its absolute core, it's as close to 5e as almost any D20 based game is. Now, it's not, unlike Castles and Crusades, which is very close to, you could look at D&D and you could look at Castles and Crusades, and I love them dearly, and so I'm feeling
Mhm.
okay talking about it. Um, you can very much, you can almost compare kind of the apples to apples. But if you take any number of other D20 games where, okay, we have the stats and we roll a D20, but then everything else is changed and modified, um, there are
Now,
thousands of D20 games out there. This is happens to have a D20, but you can't call it 5e in space because it's not. It's just not.
as per Genesis, I can say is 5e in space. That is like
Okay.
that. It was made to
I'll
be.
let you
It was
say.
made to be directly. Yeah, as per Genesis was made to be directly compatible with D&D Fifth Edition. When we came out with that game, we came out with it so that you can put a sorcerer in a starship, or that you can. It was made for like to have space rules, and for it to incorporate completely with 5e.
And that's why it
What
has
we did
5e on the label.
Correct. What we did with Phantasy Star is it basically uses the math that we have available right now in the Creative Commons SRD, and kind of the general layout of how the dice works and how the monsters work and how to do things with stat blocks and your bounded accuracy and things like that. That said, we did things. There isn't anything really like uh, physical, in the SRD that we took out. We eliminated the 1 through 20 scores that really didn't make sense for the game at all. These are just um, from -5 to +5. Those are the abilities. Saving throws work generally the same as things, as things like death saving throws, advantage and disadvantage. Those are there. There's no heroic inspiration that's gone. That was completely replaced by the fate point system that we put together. There's now proficiency bonus is technically still there. There is a version of proficiency bonus that we call the save bonus, and that is so where, for example, proficiency bonus in 5e used to apply to basically everything, like everything, your skills, your attack, and your like all of that stuff use proficiency bonus. And we strip that out, and things like the save bonus is used to calculate your save DCs, which kind of makes more sense. The save bonus, what's your the save DC for your technique? What's the maneuver save DC for you as a pilot? That uses the save bonus, which is very similar to proficiency bonus. It goes up as you raise level. Now your skills, when you start out, your skills are still tied to your abilities. However, you get a number of ranks that you can assign to skills, which is what the little ticks are on the character sheets. And you can put, you can buy ranks in skills that are given to you by your origin and by your background, and then your profession. and it'll say, assign said number of points to these three skills that you choose. And if you have leftover ranks, like let's say, you're a level one character, you can't have more than three ranks in a skill. So once you reach that third point and you're well, I don't really have like another skill that I want to pick out of this list. I will just take it and I will apply it to a completely different skill. I want to be a warrior that's like, nimble fingered. So I take sleight of hand because I can. And because I want characters to I want players to feel like their characters can be different from the mold. And skills in the sense were a little too limited for me on that front. So instead of proficiency bonus is stripped out of that. It's also the way combat works. Every single profession has a different list for their attack bonus and their technique bonus. So when a guardian has a completely different attack bonus than a mystic, a thaumaturge's tech bonus is way higher than a hunter's tech bonus would be. And then there are warriors who don't have a tech bonus at all. They have just different features, but their attack bonus is going to be ridiculous compared to the savant. So that way, the profession that you pick will also give you things like your different forms of weapon mastery, so that it makes more sense. This is the job that you have, so that you're not developing exactly the same way as the person next to you who doesn't have the same profession, and so your paths take different angles. That is let's see, techniques. Let's I can go in detail on that. So the way techniques use points. There's a whole point system for casting different ranks of techniques. There are advanced techniques, which are the rank 6 through 9, and those have special rules attached to them. When you run out of technique points, there's a rule called the limit breach, where you can reach inside of yourself and possibly hurt yourself to fuel techniques with more TP. Certain classes can spend additional technique points to activate certain features that they have. Um, Components work very, very different. There are two different types of components. There are perishable components and there are static components. And what happens with certain techniques is characters carry like a kind of like a bundle of components that they have. It really just has like a cost in Meseta. And so to cast a certain technique requires like 200 Meseta worth of components, which comes out of your stash. And then there are your static components, which usually involves I'm casting a technique, I'm casting an attack technique, and it requires me to hold a focus or a certain type of weapon that I have to have mastery in order to cast the technique, and those are static components. But really, that's really all components are. The whole like somatic and material that had gotten stripped out as well. There's a bunch of stuff I know I'm missing. There are a lot
It's
of
all right.
there are a lot of yeah, there are a lot of different things that we had put together to take D20 and like the 5e isms in general and streamline them into something easier to do and more akin to Fantasy Star than D&D.
Besides,
Okay,
we gotta
my long answer's over.
we need to leave them something to explore in the book. So
Yes, yes. Wow,
come
I'm
on,
I'm
guys, we're
just
gonna tell you
hey.
the whole thing. You need to get the book if you want to know the whole story. So I'm gonna put that
She's
way.
telling me I'm
So
talking too much.
no, no, they're loving this. I think you guys are loving this, right? Getting to know, this is what you want, like getting to the meat of what's coming. Not just the lore. I mean, the lore is fantastic, but actually knowing how the game runs and
Mhm.
uh, you know, the crunchy parts of it. So we're not spoiling the whole book. No, we're not. So there's still a lot more there. So
Not everything.
ah, all
Ooh,
right.
I didn't get to talk about. No, 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 no. I'm joking. I'm
Yes.
joking.
No, you're not. We're gonna stop anyway because I know you could keep talking on it. Um, So let's see. I'm gonna just jump back here to check for. I think I saw a couple of questions come through, so I just want to be sure. Again, the PDFs will be available probably in the next couple of weeks. Pre-order anybody who pre-ordered your PDFs, the codes and everything for all of the PDF material will be coming out next week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, the PDF will be available separately. The hardcover books will be coming from our partners, Studio 2 Publishing. Those will be shipping out throughout October, and hopefully should all be shipped out and then available globally. If anyone in the world wants to purchase a book, will be able to do so probably by Halloween. So start think,
Two.
huh?
Sorry. Go finish, and
Oh,
I just wrote a few
Studio
things I wanted to
2.
add.
Okay. But yeah, so just you know, I've already seen games like people putting together games like gaming groups, the waiting for this material to come
Yeah,
down the pipeline. It's kind of crazy. But I love it. We love the
I'm
enthusiasm
excited.
on this. So can't wait to actually see a lot of this. I know there was a question. Oh, will there be pre-established characters from the lore? And I do believe that one big answer is yes.
Well, yeah.
Like
So yeah, yes, and no. So in the lore section, so all of the professions and paths in the book are based off of characters that were in the game. So you know the guardian, the hunter, the mystic, the savant, all of them are based off of characters in the game. When you get to the professions, the same thing with the gear. So when you get to a guardian, it'll say like examples of guardians are Alice Landale or like Aaron from PS3 or and that'll happen with each profession. It'll give you examples of the characters that are in the game. And when you get to equipment, it'll equipment's broken down, like weapons are broken down in completely separate categories because they have different features. So like examples of sword wielders, examples of axe wielders. So we make sure that there are references to go back to so that you know what you're looking at and what characters that can apply to. And when you get to the lore section, we have a big like full page table that lists all of the heroic, iconic characters from the video games and what profession and path that they are and what their main weapon is and what their primary skills are. So that way you can kind of take a look at the table and say, I want to make X character at this level. So yeah, so we, that way, otherwise I would just be providing everyone with first level characters and and those are easy enough to make.
yeah.
So it was we thought it better to just kind of put together a guide and say like this is the character you want to make, this is their profession, their path, their skills, and then that way you know where they start out and and you can tell stories with those characters in whatever time you want uh, in your game. Um, Now the two things that I wanted to add.
Yes.
One, if you have not pre-ordered and you want to get a hold of the game, either you can after it goes on release to Studio 2. At the same time, I am a big fan of the friendly local gaming store. It's kind of
Yes.
where my friend who had passed on, he was a store owner, and he's the one that actually got me into everything that I do right now. So if you have a gaming store that you frequent, I would say, visit your local gaming store,
Yes.
have them, if they're as a retailer, contact Studio 2 because Studio 2 does also sell directly to retailers, and just like have them set up an account with them, and then they can get the game directly for you. And then that way they'll also have the game in the store. It will it'll help uh, prompt up their business, and then you can run events there. It'll get the word out. It helps everybody when you support your local gaming stores. It helps the community out. It helps the owners out, and it helps the game itself. So that's my one big thing. My second big thing is if you I saw somebody mention earlier about is are there emails that you can send to talk
Oh,
about your enthusiasm for the game. I think I saw it flash by
yeah,
at,
no, I,
at some point, and I was gonna revisit that, but we didn't get to it. The best possible thing that you can do for us is to spread the word. Like, if you're part of any other discords, or you're part of an RPG site, or if you're part of, like, anything that has to do with Phantasy Star, share some links, like get the word out there, invite people to the Discord, get some get the discussions going. There's only so much that we can do on our end while we're working, but we want to create a community that's constantly growing, for people that love Fantasy Star, and there are a lot. And it's kind of trying to revive something that we wished could have been revived 20 years ago, right?
yeah,
It's a whole, like, it's a whole thing. So, like, if you're a part of any groups, or anyone interested, just, kind of get the word out, drag them in. Let's start some conversations, let's get some games going. If you want to start some online games of your own, from using like Start Playing or anything like that, start setting those up, and just get out there, and that would be the very best thing that you could do for us.
yep. And once everything is actually out and available for everyone and anyone, buy it. I mean, go on to drive through, go on to our website, go to your friendly game store, ask them to contact Studio 2 Publishing, and say, hey, we want our Fantasy Star. And
Yep.
and the greater the demand, with the sales go up, that way we can take those figures and all this interest and all this excitement, and we can go back to Sega and we can go, hey, people are really liking this, look at these sales numbers. I mean, there's definitely a demand here. That is the best possible way, then that supports our efforts to get them to license maybe other things to us. So
Mhm.
that would be the best way, that would be the most effective, because unfortunately, capitalism and speaking with dollars, it's just the way it goes. So really, I think we're gonna wrap this up because we're actually going over,
Yeah.
but we wanted to make sure that we caught everything. um yeah, boo capitalism, but it's the game we play. And again, you speak with your dollars, no matter where you go, what you
Vote
do,
with
that's the
your
best way to do it.
vote with your Miss Seta. I love
I
it.
know, I know.
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat.
Yeah. But yes, let's someone in the Discord, the last question, any plans for our next project after a vacation? They're very kind, assuming that there's a
Oh,
vacation involved
you froze.
somewhere.
Sorry, I interrupted you,
That's okay. No,
Heather.
nope. I've been
I
keeping
heard
it.
I heard you stopped for a second, and then I heard something about a vacation. I'm like, ooh, that sounds nice, but I wasn't sure about the context of,
Yeah,
of...
yeah. There was a question for what any plans for our next project. Any plans for our next project after a vacation? And again, it was so nice for them to think that we would have a vacation.
Ah,
But I
vacation.
I think, what are the plans? I mean, I I've got
We
projects, I
are,
got writing to do. That's all I know. But
yeah. So from a company perspective,
Yes.
There are multiple projects that are planned outside of Phantasy Star, but Phantasy Star is going to be a major focus on getting material that's that we can add on and adventures for game masters to play. Those are the immediate things that we can do without going through licensing discussions. BTTs are still in production, and we want to get that print going and that project out of the way.
Okay.
And then we can do things like so Aspergenesis has been sort of sitting on the coals for for a little while we do this Fantasy Star thing.
Yep.
And we want to the next big project that's planned is for Aspergenesis is the Galactic Lore, the Galactic Gazetteer, and that's going to take the setting in Aspergenesis, the Silrain Arc Galaxy, and cover all the different planets and all the different options and all the different things that you can do to put into that setting. The nice part about that is because it's a setting book with options and materials and things like that, then you can probably take that and stick that into your Fantasy Star game if you really wanted to.
That's true.
Uh, you wanted to go and do like a universal mind meld, if you or
Mm.
kind of thing. And Aspergenesis has its own story and its own meta story that we have not been able to introduce yet, but some of that will be in the Galactic Gazetteer. I will remind you that like Aspergenesis itself was inspired a lot by Fantasy Star, so there's a whole lot of like similar um, let's just say like the vibe is very much the same. So anybody that's here will likely enjoy it
Yep. So
and have going on.
yeah, and honestly, when all that starts develop, coming down the pipeline and everything else, we will be doing the posts. It will be out there, the new artwork, all the good stuff. So keep you up to date on everything going on. But the next thing is next month. Again, we'll be at Gamehole Con. The whole team will be at Gamehole Con. We have the Fantasy Star stuff going on. We have our next live will be from the hotel at Gamehole Con with all of us in the same room again, which will be kind of crazy. And I don't know, there might be drinks involved. Who knows at that point? Again, the
Oh, there will definitely be drinks involved. Absolutely.
I think we need it. I think we've earned
Yeah,
it. I think you have
we've
earned
earned
it.
it.
You have earned
We've
it.
earned
The
it.
whole team has earned it. But until then, I think we're gonna call this before we drop again, which I think we just did. So we're gonna finish this out. We need to go. We need to.
All right.
We need to do. We
Bye,
need to.
everyone.
Hold on.
Thank you for
Uh,
watching.